We seem to get a new story like this almost every week now. The Labor Department found kids as young as 14 working at a poultry processor in the Los Angeles area that supplies to Ralph's, Sysco, and Aldi. Kids employed to debone chicken using sharp knives. Company cut wages of workers who cooperated with investigators. So not only were they illegally employing children, they also covered it up and punished the people who cooperated with investigators. That's amazing. That's amazing. So they say here, again, this is from the Department of Labor. They find poultry processor illegally endangered children in dangerous jobs, robbed workers of wages, retaliated by firing workers. So they also robbed workers of wages. That's nice. That's good. Los Angeles area plants ordered to pay nearly $3.8 million in back wages, damages, and penalties. So look, I have to say, though, and this is the part that's frustrating about this. So most people will read this and they'll go, okay, good. They caught him. They fined him. That's all positive. That's all good. But here's the issue. Oftentimes, like, they'll do this illegal thing, and Lord only knows how long they did it for. How long have they been doing it for? 5 years? Have they been doing it for 10 years? So they do this thing, they get caught, and then they get the tiniest little slap on the wrist, which, you know, it might be the case that the amount of money they're fined is not even equal to the amount of money that they made. Like, maybe their back wages is actually $10 million. And maybe they've been employing these kids for so long that they got millions of dollars worth of productivity out of this factory, and it was just a little slap on the wrist, the $3.8 million fine. So look, my take on it is, and some, I don't know, some might say this is controversial. I really don't think it is. But I want to be tough on this kind of crime, man. Like, we are super tough and draconian when it comes to certain kinds of crime, right? Like, you rob a convenience store, your ass might go away for a long, long time. You know, murder, rape, assault, robbery, whatever, you might go away for a long time. And good. I want to be tough on those crimes, right? I don't want to be tough on drug crimes. Drug so-called crimes, because I don't even think a lot of the things, if you sell certain drugs, I don't think that's really a crime. It shouldn't be, right? I don't want to be tough on those. But crimes like this, oh my God, there's no real punishment. In the same way that, like, fraud on Wall Street, there's no real punishment. Whether it's white-collar crime, or I don't even know what kind of collar crime you would call this, employing children illegally, but, like, maybe it's time to send a couple executives at one of these companies to jail. Have you considered that? Has anybody considered that? You want to, because we're seeing more and more stories coming out of this sort of stuff happening in all different states. Really young children being employed, doing dangerous jobs. It's illegal. And at no point is there a manager who goes to jail. Is there an executive who goes to jail? Is there somebody who made the decision to bring in these kids that go to jail? In some instances, sometimes the kids get hurt. Sometimes the kids get killed working dangerous jobs. Is anybody going to go behind bars? Is anybody going to go behind bars? So we're tough on all sorts of crimes except the ones that are most egregious. Like flouting child labor laws wantonly. By the way, this is a very widespread problem. This is a new phenomenon here. So this was a report from the Economic Policy Institute. Child labor laws are under attack in states across the country. Amid increasing child labor violations, lawmakers must act to strengthen standards. States across the country are attempting to weaken child labor protections, just as violations of these standards are rising. This report identifies bills weakening child labor standards in 10 states that have been introduced or passed in the past 2 years alone. So they're taking the, century-old child labor standards, and now in 10 states, they're rolling them back. And then in many of the other states where they haven't rolled them back, they just violate the law. They just violate it. Start locking people up, man. So do you want to actually stop this? Do you want to actually disincentivize hiring children for dangerous jobs? I do. Lock some people up. Throw away the key. I said it before, I'll say it again. I actually am tough on a lot of different crimes. Crimes like this, I'd be tough. Cracking down on Wall Street criminals, I'd be tough. Cracking down on war criminals, I'd be tough. Instead, all those get it easy, but you throw the book at the local drug dealer, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So this is only going to get worse too, by the way. With the laws being relaxed in many of these states, it's only going to get worse. By the way, we saw the juxtaposition not that long ago. I believe it was in Arkansas. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the governor over there, she was signing a bill to loosen child labor laws. At the same time, in Minnesota, with Democratic Governor Tim Walz, they were signing the bill to give free school breakfast and lunch to kids all throughout the state, universal free school breakfast and lunch. So the Democratic state was doing that. The Republican state was rolling back the child labor laws. Pretty stark difference if you ask me. But you got to crack down on all of these criminals who are illegally employing children in dangerous jobs and then getting away with a slap on the wrist in terms of a fine. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.